welcome to the Bulls Tabletop Hour. I'm Adam Harry.
Larry Vella. How you guys doing?
Woo!
It's
Thanksgiving week, is what
it is. Thanksgiving week. It is Thanksgiving week. It is time for all to give thanks. We've made it another year of tabletop wargaming excitement. How you guys doing? Thank you all. We are here every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern.
3 p.m. Central. 3-ish.
3 p.m. Central. Ish. Oh. All right, so we also
have a graphics problem.
Yeah.
We also...
That's huge.
We'll figure that out later.
We also
Mars is in the house producing.
We also have Mars in the house producing.
I don't know why that
fires, there's crazy stuff happening, but hey, everything's fine for you guys. And we have Harry, the Bulls cat. He is also he's hanging out in the room behind us. So
what are we talking about today?
We got
Tabletop Hour. We got a lot of stuff going on.
I think
we got some rumors.
We have a bunch of stuff going on. We have a whole bunch. This is the holiday season is upon us, and what the holiday season means is that we're all the rumors are raining down upon us.
They are.
So we have a good amount of rumors have been basically. It looks the big thing that everybody is waiting for Warhammer 40,000 is General's Handbook.
No.
Sorry, chapter approved.
Chapter approved. General's Handbook.
Forgive.
Age of Sigmar,
across the streams,
which is also coming out
across the streams.
We think.
Chapter approved 2018.
Yes.
Last year it came out right at the very
December,
December.
It was like the second week in December.
Yeah. So
right
we're in the event horizon. We're approaching the event horizon of chapter approved 2018, which means all of the leaks have begun.
Totally.
It's like the Earth has moved into the leak belt, and the leaks have begun to rain down upon us.
Yeah,
and so we have some stuff to talk. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Then we're going to
get some Adeptus Titanicus news, which
we
I'm
have.
super pumped
We have
about.
a bunch of cool Adeptus Titanicus news. We have our little toys right here, and as you all know here, Bulls, we love Adeptus Titanicus, so we're super excited about it.
Yes.
Hashtag Legio Graphonicus is the best.
There's a lot of cool stuff, but so we're going to start talking.
And then we have the FAQ.
We do have the FAQ that just dropped today.
Today,
it was the errata for a bunch of stuff, and then the Orc FAQ came out.
The Orc FAQ, which is the big one.
Yeah.
Because that one we're going to go over with you guys, because definitely that is the big one. That's the one everyone was waiting for, was the first FAQ post-Codex.
Post-Codex Orc FAQ.
So let's talk about rumors first.
Rumors up first, yeah. There were quite a few things that broke late last week, and some stuff that apparently there were some forgeries floating around there too over the weekend, which were called out.
Yes.
So the big thing, I guess the more reliable of the rumors was that Space Marines in general are going to get a points drop.
That is correct. So, as usual, you naughty guys out there. So there's a whole bunch of chapter-approved rumors, some of from a variety of sources, some of which have been correct in the past. Again, some of which have
salt caveats apply here. These are rumors.
This is all rumors.
For sure. These are not confirmed.
This is for your holiday entertainment.
Yeah.
Treat these as little pieces of holiday candy.
Yeah,
they're delicious. If they're
fun to talk about.
They're fun to talk about. If they come true, awesome. You get to be in the know with all your buddies. You get to say "I told you so" at the game store. And if they're not true, then you didn't hear them from us.
Right.
Or the internet. You blame the internet.
Blame the internet.
All right. So right off the first set for us to talk about is, in general, it looks like the overall trend of these rumors, as we would have expected, chapter approved. We know it's going to have the Sisters beta codexes in it. So everyone
that's been announced. That is
announced. That is official. That is happening. Everyone is super excited about that. There's conflicting rumors as to exactly how far along Sisters are. I think they're pretty. The general consensus in the rumor sphere seems to be that Sisters are possibly closer than GW is letting on, or they're closer towards completion. So we know it's 2019. The where people are betting is, are they going to be showing up in early 2019, mid 2019, or late 2019?
And again, the only thing we can confirm is they are the beta codex is a chapter approved, and they are slated for 2019. Guaranteed. We don't know beginning, middle, end of the year,
but the rumor mill says sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Take that
one
for
batch
what
of
it's
rumors
worth.
were saying later, but yeah.
All right, here we go. Starting off with the
points for Marines. Again, the big things were that they dropped pretty much
like 5 to 10% across the board.
Yeah.
For all Marines.
I don't know how you drop like a attack Marine by 5%, because that'd be like a point, but it's
We have the book.
10% of attack marine is like 1.7 points.
There
So
were
I don't know how that works
there were a couple hard examples in here that we wanted to show you. So what was the one on land speeders as an example?
Land speeders or land raiders?
Land speeders going to 50.
Yeah.
And let's see how much land speeders cost right now. Currently, officially right now, if you want to purchase a land speeder, it will cost you... That's the wrong book.
That's the chapter approved from 2017.
Well, you know, if you want to build a 40k army these days, you got to work for it, because it's going to take like 6 books to do it.
It's true.
Fast attack, right here. A current land speeder is going to cost you 70. So, and in general, that would be a substantial point reduction, 70 to 50. Land speeders are totally overcosted. In the current meta, you never see them. No one ever takes them.
There was a point, I think it was like probably 6th edition, I want to say, where Black Templars had 50-point land speeders.
Yes.
And people took land speeders. Well, they did specifically because they could get a bunch of boosts and stuff, and they were.
I remember that
they were pretty
with
good
the double heavy bolters, the double and the assault cannons,
and they were a good. That was a good point fit for what that unit could do at the time. And then I think later on, Blood Angels might have gotten slightly discounted land speeders, but it wasn't. They've never taken off, really.
No.
Land speeders are.
It'd be nice to see them back on. There's a whole. This in general is what's going on with the Marine Codex. So that's the reason why in general. Obviously,
they need a point drop.
When you're looking at any particular unit and its particular point drops, take it with a grain of salt. But the important part is the trend, and the trend is that I would agree. Yes, Marines are about 10 to 15% overcosted, and in particular, the big problem we get is that this is a huge, giant codex. Yeah. There is no codex thicker than the Space Marine Codex. It's monstrous. It has...
I think there was over 50 units in there.
It's probably closer to 70. Maybe even more than that. It has a giant amount of units in it.
Yeah, in aggregate.
And you see about 12 of them on the tabletop.
Yeah.
And then there's 50, and they collect dust. And to be honest, not only is that just... That's not fair.
When's the last time you saw a Predator?
When's the last time you saw a Vindicator
or
a... I'll give you one. Landspeeder Storm. When's the last time you saw a Landspeeder Storm?
What are those? I think that's I think those are made up.
And it's not fair. It's not fair because everything should be costed appropriately. If I want to build my all scout army with all cool scout and recon stuff, I should be able to. And
is that a thing people can do?
They should be able. The miniatures exist. They should be. There should be a place. Yeah. For Vindicators.
I think it's just really hard to balance the points internally within itself because. I mean, in the cream does rise to the top, as we've seen time and time again.
That's the nature of the meta.
Yeah, that's how the game works. Unfortunately, that means if you are not a tournament player and you want to just build a list because you think the models look cool,
right?
You will always be a little bit behind, and that's just how it is. But you should still be able to play games and have fun with that.
Absolutely.
If you want to run a triple Vindy list, which we've seen in the past, you should be able to do that
without getting destroyed.
Yeah, or without just having like such a points inefficiency that this is clearly not good.
Yeah.
You shouldn't get penalized for
And we hear bulls. I've been playing 40k for way too long. Since Rogue Trader, but in general, you're always here. Yes, there's competitive, and yes, there's the meta and all this, but you know what? You should be able to play with your toys and have fun.
Yeah,
all the time. Everything. If you paid money for it and it's in your collection and you painted it, it should be viable.
Yeah,
like you deserve that. You put in the time and the effort, and if you want to have, and not just for narrative play. It should. You should be able to put it into an army and try to play a game and try hard and have a shot of winning.
It shouldn't just be a lump of plastic that's not doing anything. It should at least do. It should at least have some kind of an impact.
And Marines are clearly the most important faction in the game. They're the most collected. They're the most prevalent. Everyone.
I don't know a 40k player out there who hasn't had at least one Marine army.
So, well, Mars has put up her.
Who would like y'all's opinion on if Codex World Eaters and Angron is ever going to happen?
Sure, I do. I think it will.
You think it'll happen?
I think it's going to happen after Codex Emperor's Children.
Ooh.
I think the fact that we have all four. I mean, there's like 6 Marine codexes, right? There's all the different flavors of Marines. You got Vampire Marines.
Let's back up. Let's back up a second.
You got Werewolf Marines.
So my initial gut reaction is, do I think it'll happen? No, because if they take it out of if they if they take it out of the Chaos Space Marine Codex, what's left in that codex? But on the flip side, you start making the comparisons, right? Say like Chaos Space Marines is the mirror of Space Marines.
That's correct.
That is Ultramarines and Black Legion books, essentially.
Yes.
And then you say, okay, well, then you've got Space Wolves who fight the Thousand Suns. They have a book now.
Yep.
Yeah. And but
sure.
again, it doesn't work complete parity, but you've got essentially Space Wolves, Blood Angels, Dark Angels.
Sure.
Right? Mm-hmm. Why can't you have Thousand Suns, Death Guard, Emperor's Children?
I think they have to do the 4 cult legions.
Yeah, totally.
And now, what I don't think we're ever going to see is I don't think we're ever going to see like
Grey Knights,
a Codex,
Death Watch,
Alpha Legion. We're never going to see a Codex Word Bearers because those are effectively
Chaos Undivided.
Exactly, those are Chaos Undivided. But the cult legions, and we've seen what they've done with Thousand Suns, and we've seen what they've done with
Death Guard.
Death Guard, which is they've said the cult legions are so divergent because they're dedicated wholly to their god that they they fight in very different ways, and they have weird units that are just theirs. They don't share their technology with Abaddon and and the Chaos riffraff, and that's what from a gameplay point of view you make those codex because that makes those armies actually are very unique. Thousand Suns is a very unique army. They have things in them that they're just not going to give. That Abaddon's not going to have access to.
No, they do have access to
Death Guard too.
They
have access to like the main stuff.
Yeah, the troops or whatever. And because that's always been a Chaos thing. I mean, I don't know what that looks like with the World Eaters.
It's going to be super cool.
It's just going to be because you can't just have all berserkers. You can.
Right, but they're going to have World Eaters used to have crazy blood slaughterer like murder robots. Back in 2nd edition, there's a whole bunch of crazy.
What was the rad unit that they used to run around with? Remember in
Destroyers.
Destroyers.
Right, and they had the
they were just all about killing stuff even themselves.
The Red Butchers, who are Berserker Terminator.
Yeah,
you could absolutely take a Blood Angels Codex, a World Eaters Codex, and make a handful of a couple cool, crazy vehicles that are World Eaters only, and then make 2 or 3 new units.
I don't know if you even get vehicles at that point. You may get like demon engines.
Well,
like we saw
that's what I meant.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I actually, it's funny you mentioned Blood Angels because I think Cobb Bantha, the Bloodthirster, Blood Angels, they have that thing going on. He can call in the World Eater. Boom, new campaign.
And I mean,
GW, do it.
I mean, the fact that Mortarion and Magnus exist and are in the game, there's no reason why we will not see. And there have been rumors that Fulgrim has been done and on ice for well over a year at Games Workshop. So there's no way they're going to do all 3 and not do Angren. So if you're if you're a Khorne true believer, I think just be patient. It's coming. It's got. I would give it a 90% chance.
My question to you, Chad, is we've got 2 Chaos Primarchs. We probably have Fulgrim on the way and Angron down the road.
Yeah.
Who's the next Imperial Primarch coming back? Guilliman's got to get some backup at some point, right?
It's just him.
It's just him. Guilliman versus the world. I think the next Chaos Primarch will actually be Lionel Johnson.
Oh, that's mean. Mm-hmm. That's mean.
I went there. Yeah.
He's like a switch hitter.
Yeah. He's
just a thing.
Who's winning? That's whose side he's on.
Yeah.
But no, chat. Let us know who you think the next Primarch is going to be.
So. Absolutely.
But point drops.
The general date that people believe that this is that the book is going to be here is around middle of the month. So say the 15th.
I mean that actually. I don't even think that's a rumor so much as like a really good educated guess.
Yeah, because we're rapidly. There's no,
Games
you
can
Workshop
look at a calendar,
right? And they're not going. And Games Workshop doesn't. They're going to drop it before the holidays. They're not going to drop it after Christmas. So we're already well into November. There's not a lot of weekends left.
You look at a calendar. I don't know if you guys have caught on, but GW releases stuff on Saturdays. So let the cat out of the bag.
Not that many Saturdays between here and Christmas.
Yeah, if you do some quick math and look at a calendar, you can make some pretty educated guesses.
We already know it's not this weekend.
Yeah, so that's one weekend gone.
Not a lot left.
So, but it's. I don't think we're gonna see any major changes for like chaos units. Yeah. I think a lot of people want GW to like rewrite their codex with the chapter approved. That's not what the chapter approved is for.
Exactly.
Chapter approved is for points tweaks.
For match
the big
play.
FAQs are for
rules
tweaks.
Right.
So you're not going to see them completely rewrite an entire codex.
Exactly. We just got we just got Big Fact 2 hit last month. So the rules are probably
was a month ago.
I know. Doesn't it
feels like so much longer.
I know. It maybe wasn't even a month ago.
It was like an hour ago. It just feels like years.
So, that's going to be coming. So, Space Marines dropping across the board. Book is going to be here in about middle of next month. What else do we got? Rumors that named characters in general across the board are getting point drops.
That one's intriguing to me. I don't know how...
I don't know what I think about that one.
Yeah.
That's one of those... If you play Warhammer 40,000, you always have to balance the, like, if you make characters cost too much, nobody uses them. If you make characters cost too little, then they're auto-includes, and then the game just becomes Hero Hammer. And,
do you remember...
do you like Hero Hammer?
Was it 5th or 6th edition? It was like Eldrad. Remember?
Right. Every
the Age of Eldrad.
Oh, yeah.
Every Eldar army he was on every table. He was like magic.
Oh, yeah.
So, question.
We have a question.
I was going to say, we're definitely not getting Necrons this year. What do you guys think for next year?
Next year, I have it. Can I...
You go.
I don't think we're going to get any other codexes next year. I think after Sisters and maybe some Chaos stuff, I don't know if we're getting new codexes. I think because they have a codex right now, and the way Games Workshop is using the chapter approved and the FAQs to tweak things, I don't know if we're going to get, unless they get some new units or new models, which they could.
They do. Well, what they're clearly going to do is when they're done with all the codexes.
Yeah.
I think there will still be new armies. I don't know whether there's going to be any new armies in 2019 outside of Sisters, but there'll definitely be new armies because Games Workshop is going to make
those will get new. Those will obviously get new codexes.
Correct.
But I don't know if the current armies are going to get new codexes. But I think they're going to update stuff with like the battle boxes we've seen,
and with the narrative, and they're going to do narrative campaign books.
Yeah.
So for all you guys who are, raise your hand if you've been playing for more than a year.
Yeah.
But Games Workshop basically pioneered and was apparently very successful with the Rise of the Primarch trilogy.
Yeah.
Right? So those weren't codexes. That was a narrative arced, basically in a narrative campaign that was presented in the form of 3 hardback books that were codex size, and those books had new units in them for a variety, and they advanced the story of 40K. So I have no doubt that 8th edition has come out. It's taken them a year and a half to work their way through all the codexes.
Pretty impressive pace, by the way.
Whenever Gene Sealer Cult comes out of the woodwork.
They're just going to show
Where
up.
are you, Gene Sealer
Where
Cult?
are you? I wrote that this week.
I just want it to be done so that they're done with all the codexes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. I'm just like, it could not even be a great codex. I just want it done.
I think it,
so we can close the door and say they've done all the codexes.
I just want to see the codexes be done for 8th edition. And again, if we remember way back when they released or announced 8th edition, they were saying like this is not going to be 8th edition. This is going to be the changing, ever-changing rule set now. This is going to be the living edition.
The living rules, right.
So they want to, from what we've seen, they've been doing this too. That, again, changes with the big FAQs that come out twice a year now, changes to points with the chapter approved. They're actively engaged with the community. They're tweaking stuff as it's coming out.
Yep.
So if you've got a book now, you may not get update until an FAQ drops, points changes from chapter approved, or if you get featured in like some kind of campaign book.
Yeah. So as an example, we saw Necrons in in Rise of the Primarch, Trazyn.
Yeah, Trazyn.
He was there at Cadia, and he took Creed. Yeah. Maybe he's going to bring Creed back as Robo Creed.
Robo Creed.
That'd be great.
Whoa.
But
Skynet.
So I think that it is very reasonable to, all the events of Rise of the Primarch happened, then 8th edition happened, and the current timeline of 8th edition is we've advanced 200 years. So who knows what Trazyn and the other Necrons have been up to in the last 200 years.
Can we talk Necrons too? Like, I think, real fast too, I think the big issue with Necrons right now, it's not that the units are bad.
They cost too much.
It costs too much.
Yeah.
When they fix points costs? Chapter approved.
Right. So for all you Necron,
it's not that the codex is bad. It's just overcosted.
Yeah. When you talk to the competitive players out there, that's what they say. They say that the Necron Codex is actually strong. Its rules are fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that it costs too much.
Yeah.
So if Necrons, cross your mechanical fingers. If you can get a 5 or 10% point reduction across the board, that may be enough, and we'll start seeing Necrons it's not that Necrons are bad. It's that they're just not quite up at that,
they're not
top
as points
level.
efficient as some of the other armies.
Thus they're useless and nobody takes them.
Right, and they also have another problem
which I don't believe.
Where they are an army unto themselves. They don't have allies.
Right, so they have to punch above their weight because they have to do... The Codex is all they have.
Yep. So they need... I could see Necrons getting cheaper. I think that's definitely a viable thing. If it doesn't happen this year, hopefully it happens next year, but... I don't see why they should be overcosted. They're swinging solo and they need to punch above their weight.
I think they just put a little addendum for match play that says there's been a secret treaty between the Necrons and the Admech, and now they're allies. Boom, fix. But no, don't tell anybody.
Nobody. Dark Mechanicus comes out.
Secret.
Maybe if we get a Dark Mechanicus army, the Necrons can get us some allies.
That's the army I think is coming.
Yeah. Dark Mechanicus.
I think that's an easy army for
the Negavolt cultists that they showed off.
Exactly. Negavolt cultists. What are those? And so that's going to pretty much wrap our rumors conversation.
We did have the rumors about
Land Raiders. Land Raiders. Let me check on this really quick.
Because they apparently there was
the rumors are that Land Raiders are dropping to. There's slight differences, but that Land Raiders are dropping to approximately 200 points even.
Yeah.
Which right now Land Raiders are clocking in at 240, 244, and 244.
Does that include weapons?
No.
Yeah.
Does not include war. Well, neither did the other one.
Exactly.
So that would be a 10%. That's a drop of.
That's a 25% drop.
Yeah, that's like a 20% drop.
20. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a 20% drop. That would. Which, guess what? That's what the Land Raider needs. Because when's the last time you saw a Land Raider on the table? Never.
Yeah, you don't see them very often because they're
too expensive.
They are tough as nails,
but
if you take Kronos with one, they chew up.
But it's just it's 8th edition.
Expensive.
And 8th edition is about killing things, and they do not. Land Raiders do not pack enough firepower for 250 points.
For 250 points, no.
Like, would you rather take a Land Raider, or would you rather take as many Hellblasters as you could fit into 250 points? I would take the Hellblasters.
And guaranteed. the other thing too about having more Hellblasters, this is just another factor of the game. Your shots, right? So like a Land Raider is one target that gets shots by a las cannon. You do D6 damage to Land Raider, that's 6 wounds. You shoot a Hellblaster, you do D6 damage to a Hellblaster, you kill one Hellblaster.
Yeah, he's like, well, that guy's super.
That guy is so dead,
It's tough for him.
Yeah. Anyway, but that's it for the rumors.
On to
Titanicus?
Titanicus.
Yes.
All right, we have a special. We're going to move the camera to show you Titanicus models.
Yeah. So we've got our current Titanicus stuff. But we wanted to talk about some of the new weapons that are coming out.
All right. So we got a big announcement, and we know that coming this week, this is a Titanicus week for Games Workshop.
You got the...
I got it. I'll give you the book. All right. I'll take all these things out. Go ahead and take the book.
Taking the book.
All right.
Some hand swap stuff.
All right. There we go. So what we have coming this week is...
We've got the weapon options. I'm going to pull out... Give me the cards. I'll pull out the
These are the cards for the new weapons.
The new weapons.
And these are the cards for the new top weapons.
Just going to lay these out. Mm-hmm. Whoa. They're super spinny right now.
They are super spinny.
There we go.
Yep. The Power Claw. And then the top weapon is one of these two, but I don't know which one it is.
Yeah. I think based on the number of shots, it's this one.
Yep. I think it's this one too.
Yeah. So put that one right next. Yeah.
Right there. All right. So these are the new weapons. So there's going to be a new Reaver kit coming, and there's going to be a new Warlord kit coming, and they're going to have new weapon options.
Yeah.
So the first thing we're going to get is on the Warlord, we get the much feared Ariok Titan Power Claw.
Yeah.
Which is the Power Fist that is as big as a knight.
Yeah. So, it's concussive. It's melee. It will jack you up. It's a strength 12 hit.
It rolls 3 dice.
Yeah.
I believe is it auto? Assault weapons are bad. Like they hit automatically or something.
They don't hit auto. They have if you look at the big data sheet, or the should be on there.
Because they're melee.
Because it's weapon skill. Yeah. Check the.
Oh sure, right. On the Warlord, we have a weapon skill of
5+.
5+.
Yeah. So Yeah, you got 3 dice. You can modify that, but it's got a +2 at short range for obvious reasons.
Right, so
it's hitting on 3s.
On 3. Oh, when you're in melee, you get to pick the location.
Yeah,
so you can be like, head, I grab the head.
Yeah, that thing is going to rip stuff to shreds. But then again, if you get that close to a warlord...
Right, if you let a warlord get that close to you...
especially with a power claw, come on.
You deserve it.
Yeah, you're getting punched.
So it's probably the scariest, it's a warlord. Warlords are really slow, and that weapon has a 2-inch range, and that's all it can do. But if you let a warlord with an Ariat claw get within 2 inches of you, you're dead. It's going to...
if you're not dead, you're probably crippled.
In almost every case, you're going to grab the head of the opposing Titan and destroy it.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have a lot of armor locations, and that thing is going to do terrible, terrible damage to you.
Yeah.
Which is what you
should do.
And you deserve it.
If you get you get that close to a Titan, that means you probably move towards it. So
Yep.
Because even if it's running at you, it's moving like
it's
6
4.
inches.
If
it runs,
if you boost it, it's going 6.
Yeah, so
it's not great.
Yeah,
it's not great.
But that's just one of the weapons. The other one is the Sun Fury Plasma Annihilator,
which is cool.
Yeah,
so, that is the big, huge, giant plasma cannon. So if you've seen the huge, giant Call's Fury plasma weapon that is on the Dominator Knights, it's like that, but about 10 times bigger.
Yeah, and it's also it is a maximal fire weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not draining, which I find curious.
Is very cool.
Which is very cool.
So it's not going to automatically increase your heat by 1 if you use it, which is the problem with the volcano cannon.
Yeah, that is a big problem.
It is a big problem.
Draining weapons. Having a lot of draining weapons on one platform is not always
Which is funny because, as I'm sure all you Adeptus Titanicus players know, the default the default Warlord kit comes with 2 Bellicosas.
Yeah.
Volcanic cannons that are both draining. That's a really dangerous loadout. Really dangerous loadout.
Just real fast too, there are still a couple weapons for the Warlord kit that haven't been shown off yet.
There are still more.
We're curious about that. Things like the Mori Quake Cannon, and
that's the one I'm waiting for.
Yeah,
the Mori Quake Cannon is definitely. Yeah. And then there's a bunch of kind of fiddly carapace mounted weapons.
Yeah, and to be honest, folks, we weren't 100% sure if it's the paired turbo laser blast destructors or the paired laser blasters. We get them mixed up all the time. They're all lasers to us.
Yes,
so
they are. The new top weapon, which is the triple barreled laser battery, is the new carapace weapon. But we can guarantee you that it is a laser.
It is a laser.
Guaranteed. 100%. It is a laser.
Yeah. But it's cool stuff. The new weapon, I mean, the plasma cannon has a neat niche. It's 4 dice shot. It's strength 8, so it doesn't hit as hard as a Bellicosa.
But what does maximal fire do?
Oh, I'm looking that up. But it's great because the range on it fits that kind of mid range firepower, but it's not draining. So that's the big thing.
Yep.
Let's see, where is the maximal?
It's under the weapon stats.
Yes, I'm trying to find
after that.
Okay.
It's under weapons, heading over there. While he's looking up what maximal fire does, the new Reaver kit is going to come with a Melta-Cannon, which is he's got it.
Keep going. I'm reading.
So the Melta-Cannon is an interesting option. Previously, it's on the Reaver in particular. It's really interesting because the Reaver currently has a missile launcher up top, and that missile launcher is 360, and that makes the Reaver with the missile launcher an incredibly flexible unit because it can always fire at you. Mm-hmm. So it's the only 360 weapon so far in the game. But when you put the Melta-Cannon up top, the Melta-Cannon on the arm, that's forward 90.
Yeah.
So. And it's mean. It is Melta-Cannon, 12 through 24-inch range, only 1 die, so it's the super risky. It's either all risk, all reward, but it is strength 11.
That's this one.
It is strength 11 and has the fusion rule, which is bad news.
So maximal fire allows you to declare that you're going to use maximal fire. You increase the strength of the attack by 2. However, for each hit roll of a 1, before any modifiers or rerolls, you increase the Titan's reactor level by 1. So that's where the draining comes in.
Okay, so that's the risk.
Yeah, but again, it's 4 dice,
so it could
it's only on 1s.
Right, so if you use maximal, if you declare it's a maximal shot, that's 4 strength 10 shots.
4 strength 10 shots.
Which is really bad news.
and you're using the base ballistic skill because there's no modifiers, even at long range, so you're hitting on 3s.
I actually really like that weapon because at strength 8, you're plenty deadly versus knights, void shields,
and the little guys.
And you can even damage a Reaver, and then you can just risk it and up the power to get the 410 strength 10 shots whenever you're under the armor and you're going after big guys. You need to put them down. That is a cool weapon.
By the way, we didn't talk about this, but the Power Claw, it is also concussive.
Yeah.
And if you're not familiar with concussive, you can hit them so hard that you can spin them around. So on a 1 or 2, the target pivots 45 to the left. On a 3 to 4, it moves D3 directly away from the attacking unit without changing its facing. And on a 5 or 6, it pivots to the right. So you just hit them so hard, they spin around.
I have seen Pacific Rim. I know exactly
that is exactly what's going on.
I know exactly what that does.
And again, if you are not familiar with Adeptus Titanicus, your facing does matter. So if you can hit somebody so hard to knock them out of a facing or turn them in such a way that you actually now have
you will mess them up.
Flank shots or even a rear shot for that matter. Oof. Yeah, so that concussive is no joke.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
And then read what fusion does.
Fusion weapons...
Which is what the melta.
Yeah.
Right. On the Reaver.
Credible heat weapons can melt armor. If the target of a fusion weapon is within short range, roll a d10 rather than a d6 for the armor roll. So you get a d10 armor pen roll versus a d6. So
within how much range?
Short. When you are within short range,
which is
12 inches.
Which is really big.
By the way, it's already strength 11.
Yeah, it's super. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Reavers are fast enough to get in there.
Oh, absolutely.
That may be actually a really good build.
Absolutely.
On a Reaver.
And it's not draining, or is it? It's blast.
It's weird. They haven't actually made the combo, but now I'm thinking that a Reaver with a melta cannon and the fist.
Oh man,
on a Reaver, that's not a bad loadout.
It's a 3-inch blast, 3-inch blast fusion. Yeah.
For all of you guys who used to play BattleTech, and I know that you guys are out there.
That was me.
That's me. You need to play this game. We're just not just
look straight up.
Just take it as just an active. We're not jacking you around. If you love BattleTech, you need to be playing Adeptus Titanicus.
Look, BattleTech was the game that got me into tabletop gaming, and this is not a BattleTech game, but this is as close as we can get with new modern technology with plastic minis and fancy rules.
It's got careful movement. It's got you're keeping track of all your weapons. You got to manage your heat.
You got a little bit of the armor, but it's simplified.
Right, and you kind of blow these your Titans kind of get blown apart piece by piece.
They get damaged.
They get slower.
Flip the damage over.
It's just it's a great game.
Yeah.
I love this game.
Yeah.
So that's all coming. Also the thing we forgot to tell you about. Mars, can we zoom out a little bit?
Yep.
Because we need to show you guys the other thing that is coming for Adeptus Titanicus, basically this week, we suppose, is the second Knight is coming.
Yeah.
Knight Lancers.
Knight Lancers.
Knight Lancers are coming. So the question is, what is a Knight Lancer? Well, here is the Knight, right there.
You have the sheet?
You have the little one right there.
Yeah. Let's just put this down here.
So you can get a comparison. So we have those are our default Knights. The Questoris class, like we've seen. And the Knight Lancers are going to be introduced. So you guys are saying, well, what the heck is that and how big is it going to be? Well, we need to zoom out really quickly.
Well, hang on. Yeah. So there's a Knight compared to his little buddy.
And there is a Knight Lancer.
Yeah.
So those are them at 40k scale. So you can imagine that they're substantially taller.
Yeah.
It's a substantially taller unit. They're not that much bulkier.
This is the what is it?
This is the Atropos, but it is a Knight Lancer chassis.
Yeah, it's a Knight. The chassis is the same.
Right.
The arms are different, but that's the only thing. This is what I was saying. We talked about this morning on the website, Bella Souls. If Games Workshop is going to expand Adeptus Titanicus, whatever direction they're going in the far future, for right now, they are focusing on Knights.
Yeah.
That looks like the next couple of things, other than weapon kits, obviously.
Right.
And there are quite a few Knights for them to choose
they
from.
can bring in. Yeah, there's definitely a whole. So they've emphatically said there's not going to be infantry and vehicles in this game.
Yeah.
But there's a whole lot of
Knights.
A lot of Knight diversity that they can add in that fills that role.
Yeah.
So
the Knight Atropos, for one, is another chassis that they could easily... I mean, if they're doing the Lancer chassis, which we've seen them be able to do, it wouldn't take a whole lot of a stretch to see them adding Atropos. There's another Knight...
There's a bunch of them. There's
Castigator,
and then there's the one with the giant flamethrower.
Yeah, all
there's
those.
a whole bunch of them.
There's a whole bunch of knights that they can add to the game. Just because.
So we would,
and the other thing too, like technological wise, they're able to move the Lancer over relatively quickly because they're using their new software that they're using. So I mean, if you look at this knight, they were able to move that big kit, scale it down relatively quick. They were able to turn around and do the Knight Lancer probably in the same amount of time frame. That means, again, 3 other Knight Lancer Knight chassis they can do. Right. There's also the new, what's the big one with the rifleman looking Knight?
The Porphyrion.
That's
the big, huge.
That's the big,
huge.
It's
super slow and really well armed.
And also, all of the plastic Knight kits.
Sure.
The Dominus.
The Dominus, and I don't think we'll ever see infantry in Adeptus Titanicus, but I am willing to bet that we will see... Armigers.
You think the Armigers are coming?
Yeah, I think they are. I think we're gonna see Armigers.
But so back to the topic at hand, Knight Lancer. We've got the stats here for you guys to look at
of
for
the normal Knights.
These are for Questoris.
Right. So we have 4 points of damage per Knight. They have a speed of 10, and their
weapon skill 3
and ballistic skill. So I think that when we're talking about Lancers, I think basically we're talking about. Arguably, they could go to 5 points of damage per. They might say that they're close enough that but they'll definitely be faster.
I think
they're going to be faster.
I think we're going to see a card for them. I think the Ion Shield is going to be better, different and stronger for them. They may go to 5 points, but I think if they keep them at 4 pips, but then make
give them a better armor save,
essentially, and maybe even bump them up to speed 12. I don't know.
Yeah, they'll certainly be faster. That's the big thing. That's the thing that the Lancer. That's why the Lancer was designed. It's a faster knight.
My question too is also, where are we going to get these cards at?
That is a big question. Are they going to sell them separately, or are they going to come, or are they going to give you one of those in the? Yeah.
So I have a box of I bought some Reavers. Right. Okay. I got my Reavers at home. I've been trying to get them built.
Sure.
The rules for the Reavers are not in the box. They sold all that stuff as a separate thing, right?
But the question is, what about the box of Knights?
Right.
Does the box of Knights come with this card? I think it does. I don't
remember. But even if it
does, have to look it up.
Even if it does, it's still not a book, right?
This is true.
So I'd like to see them put it all in a book.
Oh yeah.
Eventually, and that was part of my article today. Was just talking about it would be really cool to have a Knight book because one of the problems I have with this game is a lot of the lore and stuff like that. It's good lore. Don't get me wrong. I love the lore that's in this book. Mm-hmm. But if you haven't been, reading all of the Horus Heresy novels, if you haven't been keeping up with that,
it could be confusing.
Yeah, and if you don't have all of the hard leather bound, black books for all of the Horus Heresy things,
right. You don't have all the paint schemes for all the different knight legions who stayed loyal and went traitor. And we go to Lexicanum. I looked that stuff up. I've been doing some research on that, but it is still really hard to figure out which knight households are actually heresy era, and which ones aren't,
and which ones work with which legions and which campaigns they were kind of working together on.
So Games Workshop, please give us a
Knight book.
Please give us a Knight book. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, I want like nice big color palettes, and I want like these knights are loyal with this house,
and they put all the different knights in there, and then the kits are going to come out. So
and we have a lot of pretty much all of the heresy era big books, the red books.
We do.
And, it's a lot of work to flip through those. If you are not a mega fan, if you don't own, like, a librarium of your own, it's hard to get into.
Yeah.
So, I'm just saying, for the folks that are interested in Adeptus Titanicus...
It will pull people into the game.
It will pull people into the game. Yeah. So, I want to see a Knight book.
All right, so now we're all good with Adeptus Titanicus?
Yeah.
And let's move on to...
More Titanicus, though.
The FAQ. We had a whole bunch of Games Workshop of Warhammer 40,000 facts broke today.
This is a big one. If you guys have questions or comments about the fact, drop them in the chat. We'll try to get to those as well.
We'll talk to you about them. The big one, obviously, that everyone is talking about is the Orc fact came out.
Before we do that, can we just gloss over the 40K, the Marine facts real quick? Because that'll take like 2 seconds.
Okay, go ahead.
the Marine facts, you got Space Marines, Grey Knights, Deathwatch, all of the Marines got facts. It's basically, do you have a flyer or a fly-like ability that has been updated so that they ignore terrain and models? So your intercessors, pretty much.
Sure.
And your if you're Grey Knights, your teleport guys, the personal teleporters.
So they're not quite fly.
They're not quite fly.
They're kind of like fly.
They can't leave combat and shoot, but they can at least ignore models.
Okay.
But that's the grapnel launchers for the Reavers. Yeah, that's pretty much all the Marine updates were. So just a errata for that.
Sure.
Now we can talk about orcs.
Yes, and that's the big one.
Yes.
So what do we got? Going through it.
Wait, let me grab the Orc Codex real quick. This is one. This was my pet peeve.
All right.
This is my personal pet peeve.
So first of all, they have done a lot of tightening, so a lot of the shenanigans that people were able to pull, they just locked those right down.
This was my personal pet peeve when we were doing the review, which I hammered on more than once. The Warlord traits.
Okay.
Warlord trait. The Goth Warlord trait, Proper Killy, is add 1 to your Warlord's attack characteristic. Cool. Not bad. Except there's a generic Warlord trait called Might is Right. Add 1 to your Warlord's strength and attacks characteristics.
Right. So why would you ever take the Goth one?
Why would you ever, if you are not forced to, Gazgulthraka, take the Goth Warlord trait?
Because
why would you ever?
Just better.
It is just...
You're walking down the street and someone says, "Do you want $5 or do you want $10?" I'll take the $10.
Yeah, $10 is just more and better than $5. Like that's.
So how did they fix it?
They fixed it by changing it up. Thankfully, the Warlord trait Goths now reads Proper Killy. Add 1 to your Warlord's attack characteristic. In addition, improve the armor penetration characteristic of melee weapons the Warlords equip with by 1 during any turn in which they made a charge move or charge or performed heroic adventure. So the first round of combat, you get an additional minus to your
armor penetration, which is great.
Which is better. It is better. It's arguable based on your strength and what weapon you're wielding.
Right.
But for the most part, having an additional minus on your power claw is definitely.
I mean, Goths are supposed to be the biggest and the toughest.
Yeah,
they did a good job.
Yeah, it's still. It's not an auto. It's not like automatically better than Might is Right, Proper Killy and Might is Right, but now they're at least comparable.
Right.
So it's
now
actually a meaningful choice.
Now you can argue about it.
Yeah, you can do some math.
Which, as we all know, as tabletop wargaming players, that's what we really want to do.
Yeah.
We don't really want to play the game. We want to sit around with our friends and paint models and argue about what's actually best.
But now that's an actual argument versus clearly a better choice. So, GW, hey, thanks for listening to fan feedback and my complaining about that.
All right.
That was the big one. There's a couple other...
Magtraps, the Scrapjet has slightly better shooting.
Yeah, it got to add 1 to its shots. No, wait, what was it?
From the big shooter because of the Grot Gunner.
Add 1 to the hit rolls.
Good.
So they have a Grot Gunner now, which is
right. Which is in general something that we're seeing with the Orc Codex is that Orcs have always traditionally had terrible shooting.
Yeah.
In this Codex, what they're doing is they're putting, Grots have always been one better to hit than Orcs. So what they've been doing in this book is they're doing a lot of making sure that key Orc units that shoot basically are all Grots or have Grot Gunners. So many of the new buggies, many of their vehicles, lots of things now shoot. So which is in general across the board raising the quality level of Orc shooting. Because remember, a Grot is just as accurate as a fully trained Imperial Guardsman.
It's true.
It's true.
No training.
They're just natural shots.
They're just natural.
Don't give them slingshots.
What if they did get training though?
It would be bad.
Yeah. The other one
they'd be as good as Marines.
Yeah. One of the other weird things, they clarified the battle wagon equipment. You can only take 1 upgrade, like one, not 1 upgrade, but 1 type of. You can't have 3 wrecking balls or 4 labas. You can only take it once.
And everyone out there, just say, "I'm sorry, Goat Boy." I'll say it too. He did discover it. It was a legal strategy. It totally worked. It lasted 2 weeks, and now it cannot be done anymore. Drive-by Crumpin has been eroded. So Drive-by Crumpin used to say use the stratagem at the end of the shooting phase. So you could use it during your opponent's shooting phase and do an out of sequence sneak attack, basically, which is really dirty and was legal. It was legal. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with carefully reading the rules, but it has now been changed. Drive-by crumping, use the stratagem at the end of your shooting phase. Emphasis on the word your.
Let me read in the codex. It says, use the stratagem at the end of the shooting phase. Select an evil send speed for your army. That unit can immediately make a move as if it were the movement phase, but cannot charge its turn.
Correct.
Flip that over. Again, that is the shooting phase. Now it says
your shooting phase, which is a huge difference.
Yeah.
So now that goes back to being a useful stratagem that you're going to use to do some cool stuff, but you're not going to be using it to do crazy...
in the appropriate turn.
...sneak attacks in your opponent's turn anymore.
Yeah.
So it was awesome. It was cool. Mm-hmm. Cannot do it anymore. Yeah. Everyone bid it adieu.
Goodbye.
We have seen many, many great 40k shenanigans go the way of the dodo.
My favorite one was the Ogren Hyperloop. That was probably my favorite.
The Ogren Hyperloop
that they got rid of. There was another thing too. Can we just open up the FAQ real quick?
Sure, go ahead.
So there was another thing about the Gretchen infantry, Grot shields.
Okay.
This might be a little weird. So Grot shields have been changed from the codex. I'm just going to read the FAQ version. Use a stratagem after a matching clan infantry unit from your army, excluding units comprised entirely of Gretchen models, has been hit by a ranged weapon. Till the end of the phase, you can roll a d6 each time an attack made with a ranged weapon wounds that unit. If there is a friendly unit comprised entirely of clan Gretchen infantry models within 6 inches of it. The Gretchen unit and the Gretchen unit is closer to the attacking model than the target unit. On a 2-up, one model of your choice in the Gretchen unit is slain, and the attack sequence ends.
Okay. So
the problem with that phrasing is the last section and the attack sequence ends.
Right. What does that mean?
So does that mean when I'm rolling to wound? Let's see. When would that trigger? At the end of the phase, each roll d6 each time an attack made with a ranged weapon wounds that unit. So you have to get past the wound roll. Right. This is before an armor save, right?
I mean, the implication of that rule is that a single weapon could, in theory, never cause more damage than to kill one Gretchen.
Right. So if I have a weapon like a heavy bolter or something with multiple shots, if I'm rapid firing bolters,
because it's each time an attack made with a ranged weapon.
Yeah.
Wounds. So does that mean, like, if I have a weapon with 4 shots?
Yeah.
The question is, does that mean that I roll the first shot? Is this rule invoked 4 times? Like, do I, so I can kill 4 Gretchen? Or if I have a single weapon that has 12 shots,
if I have a flamer
on the first roll when I hit and successfully kill a Gretchen, is that just it? And all my other shots are ignored? I would
argue that that is not how it is supposed to work. That all of my shots are absorbed by my 12 shots are absorbed by one.
Basically, it's really confusing because they need to clarify what is the goal of this rule. Is the goal that every time a unit is struck by a weapon, one Grot who's nearby can be killed, and then the rest of the attacks will still go through and hit the original target? Or are they trying to say that whenever a weapon attacks and there's Grots nearby, you could in theory kill all of the Grots, completely shielding the original unit? And I don't know. It's vague enough that they're gonna have to refactor.
They're gonna have to
very soon.
They're gonna have to have some clarification on the attack sequence in particular.
Yeah, I would assume that actually this it would not surprise me, knowing Game Workshop, if they're going to refact this like within the next week.
Yeah,
because that's really weird.
Yeah, the attack sequence ends is the hitch there, and is it for the one shot? Is it for the whole 12 shots for my gun? Is it?
Yeah, if it's a laser cannon, this is fine. It all makes
one
sense.
Shot, whatever.
That's not the question.
Yeah.
The question is
multi-shots.
Exactly. What happens if you get hit by like a Punisher from a Lehman Russ
or a flamethrower
that rolls 20 dice?
Oh yeah, that's a great example.
What happens?
Do I kill one Gretchen with my 20 shots?
And then my other 19 are avoided, or do the other 20? Right. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't either. It's just it needs to be clarified real fast.
Yes.
But yeah, there's a ton of other stuff with the orcs going on. They did have some good clarifications in there. It's just about the freebooters and Gretchen, Snake Brights and Gretchen. So obviously there's a lot of questions about Gretchen right now. So
yes, there are.
Yeah. Was there any other big ones? They changed the strength of the custom booster blaster Grot Blaster to strength 3. So a little bit of a nerf there, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Luda's custom Mega Blaster went to D6 damage. So
nice.
Blood Axes, their tactic also applies if they're getting off of a transport now. So that was a nice, like, oh yeah, you guys are probably in transports. So, and they also prevented the 1-up armor save for was it Luda's,
which is great.
Yeah, which I mean, they were moving away from 1-ups anyway.
Mars is looking like there's a question.
Is there questions, comments?
She's making the funny face that the producer makes when someone's talking.
Jen's in chat.
Uh-oh.
Hello, Jen.
Hello.
Those Gretchen, they're so hot right now.
Yeah.
They are. Hi, Jen.
Gretchen are hot right now.
See you soon.
I get your joke. Yeah.
We get you. So that's going to wrap it up, guys. We got. If you have any last-minute questions, go ahead and throw them in chat real quick.
Adeptus Titanicus.
It is.
Codex.
This is Thanksgiving week.
It is Thanksgiving week. What's the schedule look like for the rest of the week?
Oh,
I think our painters are off on Wednesday.
Yep, this is it for this.
We're off on Thursday, so we'll be back on Monday.
Yeah, we will be back on Monday. Yeah, we will not be streaming the game on Thursday because we will be eating turkey.
Probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the painters, Goat Boy and the veteran sergeant, they're also spending Wednesday running around getting groceries.
I thought they were going to drink from their paint cups. And
nobody was. It's only cranberry. We're going to paint our miniatures with cranberry sauce. No, we're not. So we're
taking the week off.
We're taking the week off. It's Thanksgiving. We will be back. Everything is back to normal.
The week after, though.
The week after. So on Monday, Cyber Monday, we're back. We're going to be doing. Everyone, keep an eye out on the website. Hit up Bell Lost Souls. We are up until Thanksgiving. Everything is all normal and operational, and we have a whole bunch of. All of our normal coverage, and we're going to be doing some Black Friday roundups because there are Black Friday. Everyone is doing Black Friday. So miniatures people, RPG people, Games Workshop. It has a whole bunch of holiday bundles. So all kinds of stuff. We are going to round all those up for you guys and get those out tomorrow and Wednesday.
Also, hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all your favorite social media platforms. Mm-hmm. Check us out on the main website where we write about all this stuff all the time, all the tabletop stuff you can stomach.
Yep. Bell Lost Souls.
Bell Lost Souls. That's us. That's pretty much it for the day, right?
Yeah, we're good.
We're going to
Everyone, thanks for watching.
Get ready for Thanksgiving.
We're going to go get a turkey.
Have a good one, guys. Bye.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Orcs. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.